Let's try Chimps mode on the latest expert map called Glacial Trail. Let's see if we can do this thing. So I do kind of have a strategy in mind, and if you guys don't know how this whole map works, and if you haven't seen it, let me just go through an explainer while we're playing it. So first off, I want to start with Soda, then I'm going to go deeper into my strategy and what I was thinking regarding this whole entire map. But this is, I think this is the only map in which you can, the only extra map that is, in which you can buy Soda and actually just start with Soda, because all these expert maps, they have a lot of tracks. They're usually multiple track maps, or I guess Dark Castle has like one lane, but I don't think that you can start with Soda on Dark Castle. But you can actually do this, because the way the Bloons go on this map is they start like this, but they do a small little circle around it, and then they do a small circle over here, and then they exit. So what is the plan and how does this entire map work? Well, you guys might have seen it already, but there's this frozen monkey at the bottom which has the number in the ice cube, which has the number 10 on it. What this means is that every 10th round, all of your towers are going to get frozen. Well, every 10th round starting from the round that your tower got placed on. So for example, we placed Soda on round 6, which is the first one, so that means that the 10th round, which is round 15, Soda is going to get frozen, and then 15 and 16 she's going to be frozen, and then she's going to unfreeze on round 17. So you have to plan around. So my strategy for this one is to actually have 3 main towers that are going to do the DPS, well, at least for the mid game, and I want to plan and I want to space out the purchases of these towers so that we always have 2 of those 3 towers active at all times. So tower number 1 is going to be Soda. Tower number 2 is going to be the Spike Factory, which let me just find the placement for it. Is going to go like this. This is going to be tower number 2, which I'm placing on round 11. So this thing is going to go out of action on rounds that basically start with that end with a 0 and a 1. So 40 and 41, for example, 50 and 51. Soda is, so this is 0 and 1. If you guys want to, that's how I'm remembering these. So this is 0 and 1. Soda is 5 and 6. And then I want to get the Druid, and I want to buy the Druid on round 13. So the Druid is going to be 2 and 3. So there we go. I just bought the Druid on round 13. And this is, well, we're going to see the first freezing basically happen on the next round when Soda is not going to be able to attack. But I do think that only these 2 guys are going to be able to defend. So I'm going to get the Thorn Swarm onto this one. And I want to have the Druid actually on last. And I want to buy the Harp Thorn. So the idea is that I want to go for the Mellipad Druid, because this is a single lane track. And, you know, you guys know how these things work. The single lane track is basically a track that is perfect for the Mellipad Druid. And actually, I'm not even going to keep it as the Druid of the jungle. Let me go on. Let me buy this thing. Let's go on. Oh, are we fine actually? I want to go on last because they do kind of a little bit of a circle. So if I get the hard thorns, we're going to make more use out of the Pierce. So Soda is frozen around 15 and 16. And then around 17, she's going to unfreeze. But I think that we're going to be able to defend this. We're going to need some good spikes actually here. Oh no, you're placing the spikes in the wrong spot. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be, that was a nice, oh, okay, so those 2 drops were nice, and then Soda is, yeah, that's fine, Soda's going to be back in a second. Okay, there we go. This map is not as difficult as the other expert maps, like, for sure. Usually, you know, I think that this still probably goes into the expert map category, but somewhere around Dark Castle. And if I had to compare this to Dark Castle, it would be pretty close about which one is the easiest one, I think, between the 2 of them. But let me actually place this thing. And there is a wonderful, wonderful thing about this map. This is a very nice touch from Ninja Kiwi, and that's that the ice towers, they don't get frozen on this frozen map, and that's beautiful. Okay, so Soda is out. Is the Druid going to be able to defend? Is the Druid and the Spike? We have the long life spikes. But this is like a 130 Druid, and this is 35, so these are rainbows. Let's see how we're going to do versus the rainbows. The ice is helping a little bit. He's doing 1 layer of damage, which is, I guess, more than nothing. But I kind of want to have a small pile of these spikes survive for 36, because Soda is not going to be able to attack Camel Balloons for 36. I feel like because we're going to have a Moab, I want to get the deadly spikes first. There we go. So Soda is frozen, but these Camel Balloons are walking into the spike pile. So you kind of want to have all types of damage at all times, I feel like. Or at least if you don't have all types of damage, then you kind of need to have a good plan, I guess. So let me buy the deadly spikes now, 0 to 4. And then I feel like because the spike is going to get frozen on 0 and 1, which is 40 and 41, but the spikes are going to remain there, I feel like I want to buff it a little bit. So let me upgrade this thing and let's see. Yes, there we go. That's great. That's amazing. So Spike is going to get frozen next round, but it is dishing a lot of spikes, and I also want to use Sola's ability on the Moab to do a lot more damage. So let me just upgrade this thing as a 3-2-0, and then as soon as the Moab comes out, we need to use Sola's ability to do a little bit more damage. I don't know how much damage we have in these spikes, so let me do it now on the intersection. So when it goes back, it's going to take a little bit more damage again. And is it going to pop? It's not going to pop. Is it going to pop from the Druid? So the Druid is gonna freeze 1, and then the Spike Pile, yes, that was perfect. Okay, so let's stabilize now. We have to think about this mid game, and so again, I want to be upgrading these towers kind of together. So we upgraded the Spike, so now I want to do the Druid, and I want to give this Druid to 140. Unironically, I want to unironically get this thing to 140 because I think the Divines are super strong. I see some ceramics. Should I? I'm actually gonna use Solid's ability. I don't want to risk that. See, the thing is, the Spike Pile is kind of behind the Spike Factory, and I can't see it that good. But let me buy the Jungle's Bounty. Unironically, we're not going to make any money from this because the ability doesn't work, but this is a very good tower. And then I also want to upgrade this thing because eventually this is going to be the Icicle Impale, and I think that this is the perfect time for me to tell you guys about what the strategy is going to be. So I plan on doing a couple of things. So as you guys would expect, because these towers keep getting frozen, I think it was everyone's first instinct, and it was mine as well, to go for the Permaspike. I mean, this is the tower. You just go for the Permaspike, and the Permaspike is probably going to, you know, do a huge amount of the work, or at least it may not do a lot of the work, but it's gonna make you feel better, right? And then I thought, the ice doesn't get frozen, so maybe we get the Icicle Impale, and the Icicle Impale and the Permaspike work very well together, because the Icicle Impale is gonna keep the balloons slowed, and the Permaspike is just going to have a lot of time to build up a lot of spikes, which is amazing. So those two work very well together, and then Sada, obviously, when balloons are immobilized, she does extra damage to them, so that's a nice combo with Sada as well. And then this Druid is here for the mid game only, and then we're going to see what we do, because I don't have a plan for the ultra late game, but I feel like if we get the Permaspike and the Icicle Impale up and running, we're going to be fine. So let's start working towards that. So let me get this thing to 203, I guess, the Crowd Cannon and the Icicles, because this thing, a couple of updates ago, they enabled this thing so it can now target more class balloons. It does like 1 or 2 damage to them or something like that, but that's more than enough. And you also have this small space here, which I want to use for an Alchemist to buff the Ice and Sada as well. So let's just start making our mid game a lot safer. Let me first off buy an Alchemist for these guys. So this is going to be a 420 Alchemist for both of them. It's the ice is closer than Sada, but that's fine. I kind of want to have Sada attack here in the intersection. That's why I didn't place her here towards the left side, but this is going to be fine. So 420 Alchemist for these guys. I think I want to get this guy to 420 as well. The Druid is a 140, and let me just see if this Moab is going to pop. Do we have the damage? Yeah, we do. Is the Druid up and running? Okay, he is. Okay, so 55 Solid is getting frozen. We do have the Druid and the Spike, and there are not that many Moabs on these. There's actually only 2 Moabs on these rounds. 55 is 1, and 56 also has 1 Moab. 55 is a bunch of Ceramic rounds, Ceramic Rushers plus 1 Moab at the end, and 56 is a bunch of Camel Rainbows. Let's see how we're gonna do. So the Camel Balloons largely got popped by the Ice, which has to be a 204, by the way, because this thing allows it to see and pop Camel and Lead Balloons. So let's see if this Spike Pile is going to be enough for this Moab. I feel like it is, but it's not outbuffed. I mean, I hope everything... Yeah, there we go. I mean, it kind of got reduced a little bit, but Sada is back. And yeah, the Moab damage while Sada is inactive is kind of lacking. And honestly, what's the first tower that we're going for? I mean, I was thinking of going for the Permaspike, but I feel like we need to buy like an intermediary tower. So I was thinking of a Mortar, because you can basically target the Mortar wherever you want. But I was thinking about which rounds I want to have the Mortar on. Okay, so round 60, and let's see how much Moab damage we have. So I kind of want to use all his abilities because I want to save the Spike Pile. I'm not sure if we leak a lot of stuff, I'm not sure if the Spike Pile is going to be enough. So let me use all his ability on the Moabs, and then wipe everything with the level. Yes, that's... Well, we didn't wipe everything, but that's fine. Okay, so let me buy the Mortar now. This is going to be a 61 round Mortar, so that's going to be basically on 1s and on 0s at once. I think I just want to buff it a little bit because this thing lacks a lot of attack speed. And I think I'm just going to give it like a 3-0. Yeah, just keep it as a 3-0 because this thing doesn't have attack speed, so this is going to be fine. And I think that this should be a decent amount of Moab class damage, plus something to kind of help us with, I guess, round 63, because we don't have a lot of damage for that one. I mean, what's going to be stopping 63 if we didn't go for the... Oh, no. Oh my god, thank you so much. Wait, are we dealing with these guys? Please? Oh my god, that was like a lot of ceramics that went into the Spike Pile, but let's see how we do now. So the Druid is frozen. Yeah, oh my god, the Druid is frozen. So we don't have some extra damage on 63, because usually on these longer maps you will see something like a 140 Druid literally solo around 63, but that's not the case on this one. But we do have the Mortar now, and oh my god, with the Ice, these guys do a lot of damage. So this is gonna be the last wave, and then I'm curious as to how this... Where's the Oh, that was a huge lag spike because everything popped from the Icicles. Okay, 2 BFBs on this one, so let me take care of the Moabs first. Yeah, this might be one of those rounds. What is frozen? nothing at the back line. So basically it's just Sada and the ice attacking. Can we pop these guys? I don't think we can, I'm gonna be honest. So this is going to have to be the Moira doing all of the heavy lifting by itself, and I hope that at least, please just let them pop. Okay, that's very good. So let's target these guys now. That seems to be, I mean, they kind of walked into the spike, but if we can pop the Moab layer, I think that we're gonna be fine. So that's 3 Moabs. I think that's just the last one, but we can, yeah, we definitely can. Yeah, these BFBs are a huge issue. Okay, so apparently I bought the Moira and the Alchemist in the village in a different round. So I guess I bought the Moira on like 61, but the Alchemist in the village were bought on 62, it seems like. So this guy's just buffing a Frozen Tower, which kind of begs the question, should this be allowed to happen? Because I know this is happening when Solid gets frozen as well. She's taking away the buff from the ice, and it's not like the ice is like this super good tower with the Alchemist, but I just feel like maybe the Alchemist shouldn't be buffing Frozen Towers. Okay, so the next round is probably going to be the most difficult round in the, I guess, in the 70s, because it's going to be around 75, but Solid is going to get frozen. And 75 has a bunch of Moab class blues, so all of those guys need to get taken care of by the Moira. So let's see if we're going to be able to do this. I really need Sada for this thing, but yeah, that's just how it goes with these rounds. You guys know how it is. So 45 Moabs beneath these BFBs, and we have to be very careful with the way that we pop them. And we have to kind of pop them fast as well. So if we survive this round, 76 is not going to be an issue because, well, we have the Moira, and then a 77 Sawdown freezes, and I think that that's pretty much the time in which we're going to be able to afford the perma spike. But let me just target at the back for a second. So yeah, these 45 mobs are basically the ones that are causing all the issues, but I say that, and how are we doing? It seems like, okay, so it seems like we pop those guys, and let's just hope that these guys pop separately. So okay, so I see the first one popping, so let me target the Moabs now. And so the Druid and the Spike are also attacking both, but oh my god, please no. Okay, there's a little bit of the spike power remaining, but is that going to be enough for this whole thing? I really hope this is not the round that we lose on. There's a lot of Moais beneath that thing. Come on, dude. I needed Sada for this thing. Please hold on, guys. I'm going to need this Moira to do the hardest carry of its life. Okay, so doing the same round, but this time I bought a Moab Shove Heli, which I think that this is actually more than enough to help this thing if I don't mess up the micro. So this is a tower that I was kind of looking to get just because it is a super cheap tower, which is going to help us stall the Moabs, but at the same time help the at the same time just keep us in track and on check with the perma spike. So let's see if this is going to be enough. I also moved the spike, as you guys can see the spikes are now towards the back, at least more towards the back. And let me select the mortar. Oh my god. Yes, I think we have it. We actually do have it. Okay, that's very good. So I'm going to use the solid level 10 ability for the ceramic wave on 78, like now, because the mortar does not have any camo detection, and that might be a mistake for 79, because this round has a bunch of regrow rainbows. I mean, we can deal with the regrows. Actually, I completely forgot that we have the Druid. What am I talking about? This guy is deleting them by himself. And I think that we're right on track to get the perma spike. So let me log this thing in place. I think I want to have him like here. And boom, there we go, perma spike. Okay, so that makes me feel a lot better about what we're about to do. So also another tower that works is apparently I actually tried this on non-chips game mode, which is the I think I tried this on Impoppable actually, or maybe it was one of the game modes before Impoppable, but I bought a Spirit of the Forest, and actually even if the tower gets frozen by itself, the Spirit of the Forest's vines still attack, which is really cool when you think about it. Look at the heli, by the way, it gets frozen in the air, that's so cool. I think I saw this with the Ace. I bought an Ace on another game mode, and the way that the Ace works, the Ace doesn't get frozen, the Ace just keeps orbiting, and then there's this ice cube around it that just follows, which is very ridiculous. But around 83, and we're doing just fine, guys. I mean, Sada she's becoming a lot stronger. We have the perma spike piles getting built up. We have all of the abilities, and around 88, we have money for the icicle impale. So let's buy this thing. This thing is going to slow the Bloons down so much, and then in combination with the Moab shove, these guys aren't going anywhere, and then Sada is just going to down on them. And if anything survives, it's just the perma spike. So this is the plan that I had all along. Without upgrading the Druid, it would have been cool if we would have gotten this thing, the Spirit of the Forest. But I don't want to kind of mess up this run because this is a black border run, so I do want to buff up the spike factory, the perma spike, the way that we used to. So if you guys were here for that, man, it was just basically an overclock into the perma spike, and then that thing would produce so many spikes that it would just delete all these rounds. So let me do that. But I want to wait until round 92, because if I buy it on on 91, then it's gonna get frozen around 100. So let's wait for 92, and then everything else that we buy starting from round 92 is never going to get frozen in this run up to around 100. So let's just wait a second, and then let me start placing these other towers I want to buy. So first off, I want to get this thing, and then look at just what's happening at the start. I mean, these guys are barely even making it to a perma spike. I mean, I know that we have the perma spike, but let me just check how many pops this thing has. It's 67,851 pops. That's way too low pops. Sala has, I think Sala has the majority of them. And then the Ice Monkey is going to start doing, the Icicle Impale is going to start ramping up its pops, because now it's the Icicle Impale. So we're about to get the money for the Overclock. So let me buy this, and that was round 93, by the way. I'm not even using abilities or anything like that, and we are about to have the money for the Overclock. So let me buy this thing. I'm gonna keep using this on the perma spike. And then what else do we want to buy? I mean, maybe we get something like what, like a Sabo for 95. That's what we usually do. We can get a Shattering Shell's Mortar to delete a lot of the RB. Yeah, let's do those things. This kind of reminds me of an old school kind of a Chimps run without these, you know, fancy towers. So but I guess we do have a little bit of a new school through this thing, through the Jungle's Bounty. But yeah, let's, oh, we don't have the money for the Sabo actually. I mean, I don't think it matters honestly, but I wanted to kind of have the Sabo for 95. So let me overclock this thing, and then we're about to have the money now, but it's not gonna come off cooldown. Let's just watch those DDTs, by the way. Let's see if the ice, so Sada is actually frozen, but the ice seems to be handling everything by itself. Look at that. I mean, some DDTs are kind of sneaking through. Let me buy the Sabo. It's not going to come off cooldown. Some DDTs are definitely sneaking through. But yeah, the perma spike is more than enough for these guys. Yep, and there we go. So we now have the Sabo, and it's round 96. Let me keep overclocking this thing, and let me buy like a couple more towers. Like, what do we want to get? I mean, I do want to get this thing. I want to get the Shattering Shell's Mortar. So let me buy this thing. Let's buy this as 024. So we can remove a lot of the RB. Sada is frozen. This is round 96, but this is the last round that she's getting frozen on. And I completely forgot we had the Mortar, by the way. So let me use the Sabo. I see a lot of balloons here at the back, so maybe target it here for the ceramics and kind of help in popping them. And the Icicle Impale kind of takes care of these mob class balloons. And yeah, let's have the Mortar targeting over. I completely forgot about the Mortar, by the way, because once we bought the Icicle Impale, it seemed like nothing is going through. So let me just get the Overclock going, and I think that's all of the small balloons. Okay, a little bit of an issue. So it is round 98, and we don't have the money for the Shattering Shells. We're missing about $400. So let me pop one of these guys as soon as possible and get the money going. I'm actually going to use the Sabo even, because I want to get this thing. So let's get it now, and let's target it there, because I do want to remove a lot of the RB on this round. So look at the pops on this. This thing is so good on this round. It is at 69. Is that all? I think there's more, right? 73,000. That's insane. This thing just got, is that all of them, by the way? Yeah, 74,000 pops, guys. 74,000 pops this thing got just by removing the regrow. And look at this, the round is already over. I mean, that's so good for this round. And that's round 99. And what else? Oh, actually, no. Let me actually do this. Let me not for, oh, we don't have the money for this thing. I wanted to buy a Spike Storm because their damage versus the bat is kind of, I think that we have it. Let me buy it. I'm actually going to get it. So what's frozen on this one? It's the Perma Spike and the Mortar. So I actually don't really care that much about the Mortar, but let me use Sada's level 10 ability. Let me overclock Sada. Let me use this thing. And do we have one more? Oh, we actually don't have money for the White Hot Spikes, but that's fine. We're going to have the Sabo, and we have a huge spike pile. And I feel like, yeah, we're going to have the Sada level 3 now. So how much damage is this thing going to do, by the way? It's kind of decent, but we're going to have the Spike Storm. So let me use the Spike Storm now. I used the Sabo by accident, but that's fine. And I think that the Spike Pal, let's use Sada's ability, and I feel like the Spike Pal should be able to handle all of these UMGs and BFBs. And boom, there we go. And that is Chimps mode on Glacial Trail. Let's see review map. Let's check the pops on these guys. Oh, you can't click the frozen ones. Come on, Ninja Kiwi. So Sada is at 686,000. The ice is at 587. So the ice and Sada are basically doing the carrying on this thing. And then I can't click the perma spike. But I feel like it's about 100, maybe closer to 200,000 pops, because it absorbed a lot at the end. And the Spike Factory, a little bit of bad. Oh, I'm actually super glad I bought this thing. So 13,000 pops. This is all bad damage that you guys are seeing. So a very important tower that we got. And then this thing, 77,000 just from one single round. That's insane. But yeah, that was Chimps mode on Glacial Trail. That's the black border, by the way. Didn't mess it up this time. And that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching it. And I will see you all in the next one.